Hey guys, so it gets weirder. So that last video that I made, I was talking about how Passover is at midnight. It literally says that in Exodus 4, Exodus 11:4, and Exodus 12:11 and 12. Okay, but you guys know about that locust plague they just had? And I heard that the locust plague was in Egypt, but some people are saying Israel. So here's the New York Times. And the New York Times is saying that it happened in Israel. And I'll leave the link so you guys can go check this out if you want to. But I saw this video on it as well. I mean, several people have made videos on this. And this says that it's in Egypt. So I don't know if it was in Israel or Egypt, or maybe it was in both Israel and Egypt. But the thing that's so just crazy about this is that in the story of the 10 plagues of Egypt, the plagues of locusts was the 8th plague. The 9th plague was the 3 days of darkness. And the 10th plague happened on Passover. So, let me just show you here. So, we were just talking about how Passover is coming up, right? So the standard Jewish Passover happens on the 14th, on the evening of the 14th day of Nisan. So the standard Jewish Passover, they're starting their 14th day of Nisan. The standard Jewish calendar, their 14th day of Nisan is on March 25th. And that is the night that the Lord passed over. At midnight, the Lord passed over the houses of Israel, and the firstborn in Egypt died, the firstborn of all the cattle, the firstborn of all the people. And that represented, that was right before they all fled, and they were taken out of Egypt, and they were taken into the wilderness. So remember, the woman fled to the wilderness for 1260 days in Revelation 12. So that's what that represents. That's what Passover represents. And then unleavened bread, we're told in Exodus, I think it's also in Exodus 12, where it says that unleavened bread is to be celebrated from the 14th day of the month until the 21st day of the month. So yeah, in Exodus 12, verse 18, in the first month, on the 14th day of the month at evening, you shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at evening. So we're told that unleavened bread, which starts on Passover, is supposed to start on the 14th day, which is right here, and last until the 21st day at evening. So depending on, here's the new moon and the first crescent. Their 14th day of Nisan is here on the 25th because they're counting from the first crescent. But the new moon is right here on the 11th. So there's debate about whether or not you're supposed to start the month on the new moon or the first crescent. So there's a 2-day window. So if you count from the new moon itself, then the 14th day of Nisan would be on the 24th. And that would be 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then the 21st day would be on Easter, if you count from the new moon. And if you count from the first crescent, which is what the standard Jewish calendar is, then the 14th day would be on the 25th, and the 21st day would be on the 1st. But the point is, Exodus 12:18 tells us that period is from the evening of the 14th day of Nisan until the evening of the 21st. So it's either, depending on whether you count from the new moon or the first crescent, it's either from the 24th to the 31st, Easter, or it's from the 25th until the 1st. So, I mean, this is crazy, though. This is crazy that we just had this plague of locusts happen in Egypt. On, I think it was, let me look at this article here and see if it tells us what date. The article was published on March 6th. So we had a plague of locusts right here on March 6th. And then remember, the next plague after that is the 3 days of darkness, Exodus 10:22. And what do we have next coming up? We have that 3-day watch period, March 20th through the 22nd. Wild, right? I mean, check out those videos. It goes into detail about what that's all about, because it's intense. It's a really intense watch date. And then what's next after that? The 10th plague then is the firstborn die at midnight on Passover. So the 10th plague happens on Passover, the 14th day of Nisan. And what's next after this 3-day watch period? Passover, the 14th day of Nisan. What else do we have happening right here? We have Obama riding into Jerusalem on the 10th day of Nisan. Whether he rides in on whether he goes into Jerusalem on the 20th or the 21st, it's still the 10th day of Nisan, because first of all, their days go from the evening to the evening of the next day, and secondly, because it depends on whether you count from the new moon or the first crescent. So the 10th day of Nisan could either be the 20th or the 21st. The standard Jews counted on the 21st. But it's either the 20th or the 21st, and that was the day Jesus rode into Jerusalem on the donkey. So, I mean, this is just crazy, right? This is just, I mean, I understand people that are saying it's all a big deception and it's being planned out and all that, but I don't know. I mean, I have a hard time understanding how that's possible. But, hey, I'm just pointing out the fact that this is just really, I mean, there's no way. I mean, whether you think it's some grand deception or whether you think it's really coming from God or what you think, there's absolutely no way it's coincidence. I'll tell you that. There's no way this is all coincidence. And what it all means, I guess we're not going to know until we get through this month and we look back at it. But we do have a lot of clues. And it blows me away. The locusts here, the 3 days here, and Passover here. Just like it says. Just like it says in Exodus. It's crazy. I just wanted to tell you guys that. I hope you're doing well. I'll talk to you later. Bye.